So if you've been in therapy or on your healing journey for years and you still feel stuck and you've still got these repeating loops and thought patterns and behaviours and charge in your body, even though that might be going down, but it's just not going, it's not dismantling, then there's a reason why. And that reason is because you're not getting to the actual root pain. So how our psyche works is there is a root pain. There are these experiences that we have that feel just too much. They feel unbearable at the time to feel. And in those moments when the pain is too much, what happens to our psyche is certain parts of our self, of our psyche, amplify in order to protect us so that we don't feel that pain, so that we don't feel overwhelmed and we don't blow our circuits. So our system actually is very highly adaptive. It really protects us. However, years later, when we're adults and we're trying to have relationships and do things in the world, these protective aspects are still working for us. They just don't realize that things have changed, that we're okay now, and that we can process the pain. So that's often why we come to therapy, because we're stuck. We can't kind of work that through on our own, because when we feel overwhelmed, there's often not someone there to help us. We're often too young to help ourselves. And so that's why we need someone with us. That's often why people come to therapy. So this root pain, please don't be scared of that when I say that, because what happens is we become fearful of that pain. And that's another layer to just work through. So what we can do to process this root pain is we work with the body, we do some resourcing, and we get those protective aspects on board. So I'm going to break those down. So the resourcing, let's do that first. Resourcing is essentially returning to our source within, which is love and security and anchoring. So when we have experienced this pain and it's still in our body, because that's where it gets stored, we start to look outside for help, for security, for anchoring. And that is okay at the time. But again, when we're in relationship with people, when we're trying to do our work and go beyond our limitations, we want our energy in our body. We don't want to be scattered all around. So resourcing is the very act of turning our energy inwards and finding some sense of security, okayness, grounding, and presence so that the pain can come out, so that we are feeling enough okayness to go, oh, I can breathe through this and let it flow. Okay. So that is essentially resourcing. And again, I don't want you to worry about how to do that, because that's what a really good therapist is there for, to help you with. The second thing is we have to work with the body. So talking about this, you've probably already worked this out, talking about this is just not enough. It can be really, really helpful to understand why you are feeling the way you're feeling, why you're doing the things you're doing. But whilst it does give some relief, it doesn't move emotional charge. So when we are resourced enough, anchored enough in our body, what we can then do is feel the charge in the body. Where is it stored? Where did we tuck it away for later? And of course, later becomes now. So we use the breath and sensation and attention and maybe a hand just to help that charge come out in the context of enough security in our body, enough trust with our therapist that, yeah, we can release it. Okay. And the third, and I think probably the most important thing, is we have to get our protective aspects on board. So, as I said, unbearable pain, protective aspects of our psyche get amplified and they sort of come to the front. And that might feel like armor or kind of like powerfulness, or there's so many ways we can protect ourselves. But those aspects we need to connect with. We need to help them realize that you are the age you are, that you are in the present moment. They often don't know. They're often just like automatically doing their thing that they've done for years. And when aspects of our psyche have been doing a certain thing for a long time, we need to persuade them. We need to turn them back towards ourselves. We need to connect them in a sense of love and security, and kind of really honor them and thank them for how they've helped us. And that helps them come back into connection with the whole of our system. When that happens, our psyche is actually wonderfully loving, even though it might not feel like that sometimes. And those parts that have been protecting us tend to say, oh, God, oh, okay, I didn't realize, and then they become allies. And we can utilize that energy. It's really powerful. I'm kind of welling up talking to you about it because it's so freaking powerful to have the thing that we thought we wanted to get rid of, the thing that was really pissing us off, the thing that we're just like, oh, I need to stop doing this, turn towards us and help us. So when we've got enough of that there, we've got enough resourcing and presence in our body, we've got enough trust with the person with us, and we're working with the body, that root pain, it can come out. And what happens after that is a big relief. And our system stops needing to protect us from that because it's no longer there. So the system, our whole psyche starts to recalibrate and come back to the body. That's when we feel more present. That's when we feel like, I had a thought, I had a need, I had a want, and I can just do it. Parts of me feel like I'm in danger or I'm interacting with my partner and I'm kind of got that feeling again. It goes. It genuinely can go. Now, I'm not trying to say this is a quick fix or a one session or a one session hit. It's not. We do have to do this grounded prep. We do have to get your whole psyche on board. You do have to practice breathing into your body and work through certain fears. But what I want to tell you, it's possible. I've done it. I've done it with hundreds of people I've worked with. So what I want to get across in this video is if you're struggling and if you're really like, just at the edge of wanting to do something about this, that's an amazing time to actually come to therapy and get some really, really deep charge moved so that you can live your life. Okay. I hope that was useful. Please do subscribe for more videos. And there's some useful links in the bio as well. All right. See you soon.